morning show. We're on the air at 9 o'clock on every weekday night, taking calls about the Jazz.
Well, hello, good evening and welcome to Rangers Radio. Join myself, Fox Chair, on the panel this evening is Bridgeman, and he will be along shortly, the one and only Fox. How we doing, Bridge?
Oh, what can I say? I'm absolutely tip-top to this evening, tip-top. Can I just say to yourself a good evening? Good evening to all the boys in the lobby and to all the Rangers fans listening in all over the world. Good evening and a big welcome to Rangers Radio.
Everything all right, your world, Bridge?
Getting there, pal. Everything's cool. I had a guy in fixing my shower this morning, so some household chores.
That time of the year, is it?
Aye. Indeed. Indeed. He was a boy that lives up near where you lived.
Right.
Up Broomhill. But he said he lives in Broomhill.
Right, okay.
I would suggest it's near Thornwood, I think, you know. It's quite
Depends
nice
if
guy,
you're
you know.
Depends if you're buying or selling, mate.
That's probably it, pal, yeah.
Well, the football, it's very quiet. Obviously, the team's had a wee bit of a break, but there's not a lot of break. I think there's a lot of work going on in the background, sorting out squads, sorting out plans for pre-season, etc. Bridge, all that'll be falling into place at the moment, eh?
Yeah, there's also, from a club perspective, the club's up in court tomorrow with the judges going to have a ruling.
I'm seeing that with Ashley. Do you think this could be the end, mate? Do you think this could be the end?
Well, I think it's to do with costs. I think that's all. As the judge said, he's going to decide on costs, and I think this is the last one. I think it's just how much Rangers owe Ashley for whatever cost.
But do you think we'll have to pay a few quid and that'll be the end of it? Is that what you're thinking?
Well, that's what I think. I think that's what it started. Well, the last session in the court. Rangers had somehow managed to get them to court, and it was like a limitation of £1 million cost that they would pay. And I think Ashley appealed that, and that's what the result of this is. So it might be £1 million or more pounds that Rangers will need to pay them, and I think that's the end of it. Ashley will be no more as far as we're concerned.
Well, I hope so. For the fans, for the merchandise, which ultimately goes to the club, and hopefully we can put that chapter behind us, Bridge.
Well, that's important, isn't it, really? Because we don't... Rangers have never deserved this nonsense from any of the people on board at board level. And the things that we had to do... I mean, Foxy will remember fine well, and a few others in the lobby here. You're sitting in the freezing cold, 2 years running, an AGM, that the people who were sitting in our board actually didn't like us. And I don't think we liked them, any of them. And you look at it now, there's none of them on the board. When we go to the AGM, you're going to a decent wee place that will help us out, you know, like the SEC, the what do you call that, the Armadillo. You know, you're going to places like that, and it's just great. It's just absolutely wonderful, and the Rangers fans can be comfortable. That's what we needed, and we're getting it now. So at night and day, some very poor boards for a few years there, and now we've got a half-decent board. And hopefully they win through, get rid of Ashley, and away we go.
I mean, I must admit, Bridge, ultimately I've been proven wrong. Yeah, when Sports Direct come in, I don't like their business model, as I said before. I know you're a big fan of their shops. I don't like their business model, but I thought I'd seen a lot of positives, and I'm going back a few years. I said the brand's red, white, and blue. They're the national brand, and obviously they'll be able to market the club all over the country. But God, it just turned into a nightmare, didn't it? And we've seen how much of a parasite the guy he was. Just, I don't know if asset strippers are the right word. He might say he signed the deal. At the time, it was a benefit to Rangers, but ultimately we were handcuffed to something that was just...
Yeah, and
I don't know how. So bad it was unbelievable, mate.
Yeah, of course, and then we know we fell into that that we needed money, and he was the only person that wanted to give us money, big money. I know that the boys for Greenock. What was their names again? Jeez, I can't remember their names.
These deals.
They loaned us money, and I have to say, take my hat off to them. They never charged Rangers anything for the loans.
Even Dave King said that, mate. When the day walked in, the boys done nothing. But I think they just backed their own horse, mate.
Yes, they were vociferous in their support of Ashley. But what you saw what Ashley was trying to do. He was trying to offer loans and guaranteed another £5 million if you need it for a top-up. And before you knew it, Rangers would have been £10 million in debt to him, in which case he could have just called it at any time. And that was held against the club. It was held against the stadium. It was held against Dalkenhowie. So all of that was heading towards Ashley at a rate of knots. And this board stepped in and managed to salvage that. And they've been fighting the fire for the last 3 years. There's 3 years in now, isn't it? So for 3 years now, they've been fighting fire after fire after fire.
Longer than that, Bridge.
4 years in?
Aye.
4 years. So, I mean, it's just, it's frightening. It's just frightening. And that's why people like myself and Jimmy, JFK will turn in and tell you they're just so pleased. When I walk into Ibrox, you have no idea how chuffed I am. Obviously, we're not happy sometimes with our performance, but just chuffed that we've got somewhere that's our own. Nobody else owns any of it. It's only the club and the people associated with the club. Simple as that. We owe nobody nothing. That's oh dear. You get more excited when I say these things.
So hopefully tomorrow that I'm not sure if it will come to a conclusion, but if it does, it might cost us some money short term. But I'm sure the way the retail thing went this year with one shop and online, that if when the new strip comes out, I believe it's meant to be June the 27th. That the 3 strips are coming out this year. That'll implode again, mate. Implode, is that explode, maybe?
Explode, yeah. Well, obviously what our board need to do is make sure the fans are right in line with everything they're thinking. And that takes a lot. And we've said it, not just me, many Rangers fans have said it in all the different forums. Rangers desperately need a really good PR, and they don't have that at the moment. And it might cost a bit of money to get it in up and running, but they really need it. They're putting some people in positions behind the scenes, Bridge, and I think they'll eventually knock all the dominoes over. Yeah. Isn't it the last one to join? Was that a director of commercial director or something? Yeah. So which
intimates that something's happening, doesn't it?
Well, it says it to me. It might be and just what I've said there. Well, we don't really know what's going to happen because it's never been written down. All we know is there's going to be the judge is going to come out with a ruling, and as far as I know, the ruling's only to decide how much we're going to have to pay Ashley, and that'll be it done. And hopefully, I'm adding 2 and 2, and I'm trying to make 4. So hopefully, this new commercial director is going to pick up at a close season, and he's going to come in there, and it's going to be a clean slate for him, and he needs to do whatever he needs to do, and he gets that huge big shop at Ibrox open with Rangers gear in it for Rangers, only Rangers. And that's what needs to be done, because you get thousands, nearly 50,000 people going to Ibrox most games, and all of them would like to go into Rangers shop and buy on the day because they're taking their kids or whatever. Mm-hmm. So could make money out of that.
Aye. I mean, it's became a white elephant. I mean, it's still got all the Puma stuff, etc. on the front yet. I've not been in it, but it's very, very sad. I don't know if that'll be the shop long term, Bridge.
No, I don't think so either. But there's stepping stones, 3 stepping stones.
I've heard rumours that I think they're turning that into the ticket office, mate. But
that's where they started out that way. But at that time, they were talking about putting some investment into the Edmondson House. And Edmondson House, part of that would be the shop. Mm-hmm. And obviously there'll be a lot of other parts involved. But one of the parts would be the shop. And I would imagine that people like yourself and myself would think, well, there's got to be a walkway from the shop over to the stadium, a covered walkway of some description, so that the people are not having to come out of the shop and walk up to Ibrox. They should be able to walk all the way up there, straight up into Ibrox, and that's them away. That's what I would suggest anyway, you know.
I've said this before, the tour should finish in the shop, yeah?
Yes, of course, absolutely.
Yeah, you know, the tour should finish in the shop. You with us, Fox? You all right there, mate?
I am here, sitting happy.
Hopefully that'll be Mr. Ashley, but potentially maybe could be the end tomorrow and we move on.
Aye, everything seems to be potentially getting rid of him, mate. Did we not pay him $3 million no long ago? Or Sports Direct $3 million?
Yeah, we paid him $3 million to buy out the 7-year contract. Remember, they had us under over a barrel with a 7-year contract, and I think we're only 1 year into it, and they paid Sorry.
Well, was that no mistake then, getting rid of the other part of the contract at that time?
I think that what's come back to haunt us is that the fact that he's going to have a sort of be able to match the deal or have a look at the deal.
Aye, but should that not have been in with the $3 million we've already paid? Did we miss a trick there, or what?
I think we missed a trick. Yes, I do.
Hindsight's a wonderful thing, Fox.
Well, if it was in the contract, the Rangers lawyers never found it then, did they?
Well, somebody's dropped a ball, somebody's dropped a ball, but we'll see, and hopefully tomorrow the judgment's made and the two parties go their separate ways, and we can move on, Fox.
Oh, please let it be like that, and I hope that people who are writing these things in the forums have got it spot on. I don't know much about the judicial system in that sense, but I'm only going by what you're reading, I'll come at the judicial system for the other end. Don't ask me questions, I'm not answering them.
Oh dear.
It's not been all plain sailing getting rid of him, but is it?
Bridge?
No.
I think Mr. Ashley, I think he's managed to get himself in through the deals, and he's thought he's got his feet under the table, and they will never leave Ibrox. He'll end up taking over Ibrox, and it's taken quite a while for our board to do the right, hopefully do the right thing. And I know that I've been up and asked that boy, who's our chairman, who's our secretary, and I went up and asked him a couple of times what the latest is with these contracts and so on, and he's been. He couldn't tell us. I just can't say. So obviously at that time it was inconvenient that he couldn't tell anyone. And even when we asked him even when he was asked at the AGM, he couldn't say anything because you're held to silence.
Contempt of court, Bridge. Yeah, you can end up charged with contempt of court. If there's a court order. But anyway, as I said. It's no football, but it is a big benefit to our club to get that sorted, Fox.
What do you think will happen with the show, mate? I don't think it's a great big space, is it?
No, but apart from match days, it's never. Obviously, strip launches, it's not something it's after beaten track, so you've got to use it properly, mate. You've got to get people walking through it. To go places and maybe, as I say, the tours should end in it. Where they could walk around the stadium, whereas they put you at the side of the main stand. Walking around the stadium, you come out right into the shop where you might get people to make a spend, an impulse value that they wouldn't do, That's what Yanks would do,
I think the bad feeling between them and the club has been such that it wouldn't matter. The club would never recommend anybody to go to that shop. They wouldn't
I'm not talking about.
I'm just meaning even if it was part of it. But yes, agreed. We need somewhere to take it.
Only when it becomes our shop, becomes part of the club, and it's all with the Hummel stuff in it, and maybe they might even upgrade it, Fox. But I don't know if you need anything much bigger there. It might not be big enough in match days if you've got it right, but would you extend it for that? I don't know. Somebody would need to do their sums, wouldn't they?
I think what you were saying earlier.
Why don't they sell strips inside the ground on the concourses, mate?
That's what they do in the States. They've got small stores all over the place,
Aye.
To me,
Glasgow weather, even in the summer, mate, you're not going to queue up there if the rain's lashing down. So on the concourses, as you say, they could do away with one of the pie stalls. And if it's just a strip you're one that's only the matter of handing it over. I think, oh, what are you laughing at?
You couldn't get away with one of the pie stalls. You've seen the pie stalls are mobbed. They're all mobbed.
Well, they should get some other better food kiosks in there anyway.
You know me, when we were walking along the last game, the concourses, mate, I'd take them all back and move them all back.
Well, we've said this before.
Yeah.
I reckon that it should take the broom loan from a concourse perspective and stretch it right across. And if we manage to get the Edmondson House place,
the broom loan at the Edmondson House, that was some sort
No, the Copland Road. Did I say broom loan? I didn't mean broom loan. I meant the Copland Road.
No,
we should maybe stretch that right back to the borders of it.
That would cost a fortune because of the shape of the ground. But what you've got there, you've got a ready-made false wall there. Yeah, the walls with the turnstiles could come right back to the edge of where you're underneath and the walkways, and you go in there.
Yeah,
lean-tos so that people were still when they're queuing in to go in, and then the concourses. Then you could improve all the toilets.
I think we could make some marvellous. I think you could extend not the Copeland Road stand, but the concourses at Copeland Road. I think you could extend them right across on top of the players' car park. I think you can go that far, and then you could get a natural bridge going out there across into what could be the new shop in the Edmondson House. That's provided you've spent the money in it. I don't know whether we're ready to do that yet.
I just think that to do that, and then people would, if Fox's shops improve the catering, and then people go into the ground and meet, and hopefully one day people will be able to meet in there and have a beer, Fox.
That'd be great. That would just be great.
Really. You've been joined by two callers,
all right,
Wally and George.
How are we doing, George?
I was going to say take Wally because he's bigger than me. Just what you're talking about there, Ox. I mean, you were talking about the shop and things like that. You were talking about the board and things like that. I heard somebody saying last night, I can't remember if it was actually on at the time, but I heard somebody saying about the board saying about 7 years for us to get there. Everybody was incandescent at the time, Ox. I remember it when they were raging, and I can't believe they're saying it's got to take 7 years. And that was a swords out for Paul Murray again, because he said 7 years. He's pretty close to where I think we should be now. I think we had a bit of a year where maybe we stumbled a bit, but I think Stephen Gerrard took us that 2 year again, so we've probably gained the same amount of ground as where we were, Ox. And the thing about the board, you're talking about the board and AGMs and boards in the past and things like that. I didn't know absolutely nothing about the board for the past. I knew David Murray owned Rangers. I knew a few of the guys that was on the board and things like that, but I never actually concentrated on it, Ox. But I think in years to come, when we were talking the other night there, how far we've came in 4 and 5 years on the playing field, I think in years to come, Ox, I think this board, it doesn't matter what happens now, whether we win, when we win 55, whether it's this year or next year, will be 1 or 2 years, when we're back in the Champions League, I think we're always going to be thankful for this board. And I think when you all take a step back and we think about it, the board's probably bang on with the 7 year for catching in there the Champions League money. And for these guys, Paul Murray, John Greig and Hugh Ken yourself, and Dave King and the Park Boys, everybody else has done their wee bit. And look, I can't keep on talking about the fans and that, but I'm talking about the board now. I think we'll forever be thankful to these guys, Ox. I would hate to imagine where our club would be, like say Bridgman and that, sitting in the stands at that AGM. I wouldn't even like to think where our club would be right now if they guys never put their head up and said, we've got to fight this guy and we've got to take the club back on. I would hate to imagine where we'd be now, Ox. It's not even worth thinking about, to be honest.
Yeah, George, I mean, obviously, history teaches you a lot of lessons, and if they can get it right, and when I say get it right, it's the David Murray thing, when you pass the club on, how you pass it on, and how your legacy going forward, how people think of you, I think you're right that they've genuinely got the interest of the club at heart. I'm fortunate enough to know a couple of the guys that have been on the board, real decent people. I don't know, you can't say, I don't work with them, so I don't know what they do in the business world, but as people, I know they're decent people, but It's been long and sore for the fans, but it's been long and sore for them as well, because ultimately they want the club and the team to do well, Georgia.
Oh, exactly, Ox. That's what I'm saying. I mean, every single one is on here. Not everybody goes to the stands hemming away every week. It's been hard and things like that. And I honestly think I would like to have took her before the shit hit the fan. To be honest, Ox, if we're honest about it. However, I think they got the club at the right time, because if anybody else had got a further grip on the club, we might never have been able to get it back after that lot the charlatans, as far as I'm concerned. Ox, I wanted Dave King because I thought he was going to be the right guy. I never thought for 1 second when he was saying about I'll come in and put 30 million. And I don't think he was going to ever come in and put 30 million in that season. But if you look what he spent now, he's done that. He's helped fund the club. Not just him, but all the other guys are there as well. Have helped fund the club. He's put out fires. Bridgeman was famous for saying every time he came, opened up another drawer. He didn't care it was going to come and find. And Ibrox is starting to look a wee bit new, tarted up now. It's to get in there. Things are getting done where even just the staff stroves on the front of the stadium and things like that. There's a wee bit for the fans to go, the wains to go before the game. We're talking about getting the show back, getting the turnstiles all tarted up, and I think we're starting to get there, Ox. We're starting to get there. I don't think we would have got that if these guys, Dave King and that, had held back for another year or so. I just don't think it would have happened. I think they would have had that much of a grip on the club that they wouldn't have been able to get it back. We got it just at the exact right time for to save the club. In my opinion, Ox, I really do believe that. Guys like Charles Green and all these guys, they were pumping money in, and for what they were putting in, they were taking 100% back and 200% back. It wasn't even funny the kind of money they were taking to Ibrox. Now we've got guys that's actually got Rangers ahead and they're putting money into the club.
Yeah, absolutely right, George. It's actually frightening. I mean, all of us fans who go in the season ticket boys, we would just love to be able to help the board in more ways. And be part of it. Not that we're not a part of it, but we would love to be a better part of it, whatever it takes. I think the board's been very careful and canny, and I hope that they can see the end of the rainbow type of thing, and that stormy waters are going to be behind us, and we've got a bit smoother sailing. I'm saying all these cliche stuff, and it's the truth. It's what I feel. We deserve it. We deserve a break, a right good break, so we can get rid of Ashley tomorrow, for instance, get rid of him out of here and get on with getting rid of the rest of it. And I think the biggest one, believe it or not, I know it was a timely and a lot of hatred towards Ashley, but we really need to change the contract for the catering. That's a dreadful contract. That's like one of these 10-year rolling contract.
That's a money one. That's something that's got to be improved, mate. There's got to be improved. It's not going to happen overnight.
No, I know.
It's not going to happen overnight, but you're going to have to improve it. And for me, you could do that by improving the concourses and making them bigger, and then you can make the toilets bigger, the pie stalls bigger, get it right, get a show up in each concourse. There's so much you could do to make them actually experience better, George.
I think that's the next thing that's going to happen, Ox. We've got the right manager in place. In my opinion, everybody's got their opinion. In my opinion, I think we've got the right manager in place. The fans have never left the club. Bridgeman was saying he wished we could do more. We couldn't have done any more. We saved the club. We kept the club running. We kept on going. When a lot of people never wanted to go, and there was told 25,000-30,000 there in most weeks. Home games, we were buying our season tickets. We were just really, we're pumping the money into anybody. The fans have always been there. I think we've got the right board in charge now. I think we've got the right. There was a wee bit of jiggery pokery here, try to get certain ones off the board, ones on the board. I think we're pretty close to how I would want the board, having Alistair Johnson back and guys like that. John Greig's back, when he was away for a few years. He's back at Ibrox, and we've got pretty much the closest board that I would probably want. We're getting the stadium upgraded, roofs are getting put on, things are getting done, things are all getting tatted up all over the place. Now I think what you're saying, see, getting the concourses and things like that done. But like you say, the Rocks, it's one step at a time. This wasn't going to be an overnight thing.
No, it was not going to be a quick fix, was it?
We're getting a
Hello, we've been joined by a caller. Evening, caller.
I'm just wondering about a striker. What striker you would put in instead of Alfredo?
If Alfredo goes. If Alfredo goes.
A 22-year-old, 22 to 25-year-old
Oh, that's a good question. What's your name, mate?
Ronnie Brown.
Ronnie. That's a good question. I'll put that one to Fox. Fox, you're a man studying world football.
I'm busy now.
No, all right, okay. There's nobody in Scotland springs to mind, Ronnie.
Nah, nobody in Scotland. There's nobody in Scotland. And before he played in the last 3 games to get the money for him, isn't we?
It looks that way, mate. But I hope he stays, mate. And I've got a funny feeling.
Aye, I hope he stays. I know, and I think he will.
Bridgeman, is there anybody springs to mind for you?
No, in Scotland, not.
Bridge?
No.
Striker that you would like at a club?
No, I was saying, you've heard me saying this before, and I don't think there's anybody in Scotland, certainly not a striker area.
No,
we've got the best
with Scotland.
I'm saying no, but we've got the best striker in Scotland, and
if he leaves, one of the best young strikers in Britain.
Well, yeah, I would suggest so. It'll be up there anyway, and I think we need to be looking down probably at the Championship, bottom end of the Championship, maybe to pick somebody up at a price that's suitable. You know, really difficult. I don't even know any of them, to be honest.
For some amount of money, I'm even worth it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's the truth,
pal. Fucking 14 million. Fucking.
Yeah.
Look at the boy who went to Bournemouth for Liverpool. Solanke, he's really done nothing.
Solanke's done nothing with him. Could have taken us.
19 million. He's went there and
I
don't think he's scored a goal. No,
Ronnie, who do you think, Ronnie? Who would you like to go for?
I would take Cummins back.
Oh, I like Jason, but I don't know to take his own and improve us. What kind of striker would you like? Would you like a Hateley type or
I'd like a 6-box striker, 18-year striker. Doesn't need to get the 18-year box.
Chris Boyd type.
Chris Boyd striker. Bit of worker, know what I mean?
Aye. I mean, what do you think of Boyd? He could score a goal.
We Morelos hold the ball up. We plays it out wide. Do you know what I mean? He's not just a striker. He does loads of things, man. He's got a lot of potential to his game.
He has, George.
A young boy.
He's if he does leave us, George, he's going to be. It's not just his goals, is it?
No, but we're in a win-win situation as far as I'm concerned, Doc.
Everything hold up play does. He puts people in. He opens up gaps. Does it week in, week out. But it's just that temperament he's got, man. It's just the South American temperament he's got. That South American temperament, but
he's a street fighter.
I think you could, he's a street fighter, definitely. I think you could put anybody in his place, but I hope he stays. And I
hope he stays. I mean, I think if we do, well, it'll be interesting to see how we go on a week on Saturday against the Hearts away if the 4 plays well again.
I've got a ticket for that.
Good man,
I'll
mate.
Be there.
Good man.
There.
How long have you been listening to the show, Ronnie?
Since, is it 2 weeks it's been on?
No, it's been on years.
I've just seen it. Is it? I've only got in the past 2 weeks. I've just heard about it.
All right, okay, mate. All right, listen, thanks for the call.
I'm listening now.
All right, good on you, mate. Good on you. Enjoy it.
No bother. Right.
Thanks for the call, mate.
Thanks very much.
Cheers, Ronnie.
Thank you. See you later, bro.
Cheers, Ronnie.
Good question, by the way. There's nobody when you start. There's nobody in Scotland springs to mind, George, is there?
No, but that's what I'm saying here. We're in a win-win situation here, by the way. We've got Alfredo Morelos. Let's say we had a guy, Alfredo Morelos, on loan for a team in England, Liverpool, Man United, or something like that, and he's come up here and scored that amount of goals, and he's learning his trade. He's a bit hot-headed. He's getting sent off. We're not going to have him next year. He's our player next year. If we want to sell him, we get big bucks for him next year. If we didn't sell him, we get loads of goals off him next year. We're in a win-win situation for Ox. We paid 1.2 million for that laddie. We're going to 10 times that, 20 times that if we want next season. Either that, he's got to be a better player than he was this year, and he's got to score goals. I'm in two minds. Let's say, I'm not going to say what I want or what I don't want, because it's not the right time. But let's say he stays next season. and Defoe's his backup, I'll be delighted with that. See if he goes next season. Steven Gerrard's not going to go for somebody for Scotland. He's going to have to replace him with somebody who can score the goals and who's just as talented. He's going to have to bring. I said about the wee. I ken you didn't rate him, Ox, but the wee boy Ollie McBurney down south, somebody like that. The boy for Arsenal that's just went out, going out of contract in the summer. Somebody like that. Steven Gerrard can pull the guys now. That's Danny Welbeck or Sturridge, whatever one is going out of contract. Steven Gerrard can pull the guys now. And we spoke about it at the start of the season. We never got any of these guys correct. A couple of Liverpool guys we got right. Steven Gerrard and Mark Allen about there now. Whether it's a loan deal for Man City or whether it's a £2 or £3 million striker, they're out there working right now. And see, supposing Alfredo goes in the last day in August, I don't think Steven Gerrard will be left with his hands in the fire. I think he'll already have that guy set up ready to come, just like he was with Solanke. If we couldn't get a striker in, and we didn't get whoever it is, we're going to get a striker in on loan. I think it's going to be the exact same this season. Ox. Me personally, the other night there, I wanted to be Alfredo at the club because I think he's let him do it too many times. But you can't take the goals away from the laddie. So I don't know where I stand, Ox. Next season, will that even there? He'll be a year older. Will he be more clever? I don't know, Ox.
I was raging when I would put it petulance, right? I know he bought the one with Brun. He bought it. Brun deliberately kicked him in the back of the leg, tripped him up, whatever you want to call it, and he bought it. I was angry, but at the time Big Stevie for the drum was on me, I wanted to make him captain the time Stevie was finished.
That's right. I spoke to Steve about it the other night there, and he sort of convinced me as well. And when
he's after you, by the way.
So I hear. And when I think about Ox, I think to myself, if we've got Alfredo on loan to Man United, Liverpool, Chelsea, one of these big teams at 22, it's not impossible. And a 22-year-old striker, we're desperate to keep him next season. So the thing is, he's our player. So whether he goes for big bucks or he stays, we're in a win-win situation. This is as we're talking about the club getting back to where we should be. We're now getting players that have got a sell-on value. We've not had that for a year, Ox. So if he stays, we win the league next year. If he doesn't stay, we've got a big boots to fill. And it's got to be a £3 or £4 or £5 million striker we're going to have to bring in, unless it's a guy who's out of contract, like your Danny Welbeck or one of these guys, Ox. That's the way it's going to have to be for us.
I'd be interested to see how it pans out. Bridge, you any thoughts?
I started laughing again. That's why I had to go and mute there. I started laughing again after what you said there with Big Stevie talking about Alfredo. I really do hope that we keep him for another season. That's what I hope, and that will solve our problems. It may not solve all our problems because if we're looking for money, he may be the money. So we're sort of between the devil and the deep blue sea at the moment. But I really do hope he stays because I think he's a fantastic player for us. And he's a character that the fans absolutely adore. And he adores the fans. And when they start that chant, when he scores a goal and he gets that chant going, there's a bigger smile you don't see in football. It's just amazing. Fantastic to see. I just hope he stays because I think he's fantastic. I do. I think that Defoe would be a good reserve for him. If he does go, I think Defoe, providing Defoe keeps going the way he's going and wants to play, because he's quite interested in playing for Rangers. I think the big crowds stir him up, so I think he'll react to that. It'd be nice to see that happening. I think whichever way we go, Alfredo will always be a fantastic player for us, for sure.
By the way, Stephen, you're talking about Big Stevie. The one that Big Stevie had to say, he didn't say it in the morning. He turned around to me at 1:45 and says, "By the way, George, the minibus is leaving at 12 o'clock. What time is it?" I said, "It's 1:45. He said, "Oh, well, I'll leave at 1:30 then." That's what Big Stevie said to me. That's how good a night Big Stevie had the boys.
He's a good busking feeder.
Oh, yeah. By the way, him and 19 his mates were through, Ox. What a night it was, and every single one of them, great guys. Every single one of them. When you meet guys, when you Big Stevie and that, and a couple of other boys, but when you meet all these guys, absolutely brilliant. They were all Bears, all there for the same reason. Great night, by the way, Ox. Absolutely brilliant.
Fantastic, Josh. Fantastic. It's good when people get together, Bridge, innit?
Oh yes, absolutely. That story that Big Stevie was coming away with, and I think you were, and a couple of the boys were intimating a wee bit earlier as well. It sounds as if George was a great host, looked after the boys tremendously, and I think they'll be forever grateful for the hostess, the host with the most. Big George, the host with the most. Well done, George, by the way. Well done.
Me and Fox never get an invite, George.
I think that's a scandal, by the way, you not getting
yeah,
it.
Fox,
Not getting it.
before you and Fox have got an open invite. It's just it's the band hall lock, right? And what we do, you take a bottle or take a hint and you give it to the band and you buy it back. That's just to make the money for the bar, like.
Aye.
And that's just the way we do it, like. But it was absolutely fantastic. What a night it was. The place was absolutely bouncing, and all the boys, they came. We have a pair of the Drum Chapel boys, by the way. Absolutely fantastic.
Good salt of the earth, people, mate. Salt of the earth.
Quiet as hell. We're always quiet as hell, George. Let me tell you, very quiet people for Drum Chapel. Very quiet.
One of the boys' backyard, but it holds about 100 people. And one of the boys that was there with Steve, he said, "Is this place open on a Tuesday, mate?" He says,
I love it. Absolutely brilliant.
I thought you was going to say, when's it shut? You say September. Brilliant.
Oh, my God. No, but well done, George. You spoke highly of you. Well done, pal.
Anyway, if people want to join us, what's the number, Bridge?
Oh, the number's 0141 356 1972.
Or join us at Skype at rangersradio.online. We've brought in a call with Old School Blue or Fox. The match day experience, George, we've talked about it before. I know it's not the most important thing. The team's the most important thing. But we've got to think of the next generation of fans. Constantly, you know, things have got to evolve.
Things I would change, and if you had your man Jim Hanna still here, I would actually contact him. You're standing outside the main doors at the marble staircase, waiting to get in the members' lounge. So what happens is the away bus comes up first, and then the home bus comes up, and you're sort of put to the side until the home bus is in. You're not allowed in until just a daffy thing. I spoke about it the other night. There actually put to the side, and then. The home bus comes up, the door swings open, Simply Beth comes out, Stephen Gerrard comes out, led with the team, and they're all straight in. There's 20 or 30 young laddies, 10, 5, 11, I don't know what age, they're all standing there. And they're all just trying to get a quick picture. See, it wouldn't be an awful big thing. You know, again, they've got to focus on their game and that. But there's a couple of the guys, for example, Andy Halliday wasn't playing the other night there, B. Alfredo wasn't playing the other night there. It wouldn't be a bad thing for your club to put them off to the side and just sign a couple of autographs, get a couple of pictures. That would maybe make the wee guys' days. I was saying that to the boy that was standing beside me. Ken, they're going in, they're giving them a wee nod. And when Gerrard came off, they're giving it a roar, and Defoe, they're giving it a big roar, and then McGregor had bought, like there's the other night there, for example, so you had Jamie Murphy, you had wee Alfredo, you had Andy Halliday, you had the big centre half, Macaulay, all sitting up in the stand beside us. They could have just, they're not doing nothing. Again, they're still part of the team, but they're not part of the squad. Lee Wallace, they could have went to the side with the gaffers hearsay, took a couple of pictures. That would make the wee laddies' days. I would remember that for the rest of my life, folks, if I was away and getting that opportunity. The wee laddies are standing there for 2 hours before kick-off just to get a wee glimpse of them. Just wee daft things like that would make a big difference in my opinion, Ox.
Mm-hmm. Some of the American football do it after the game, George. It's one of these roped off areas, and you get to meet the players, and they'll not get to that line's finished. The players aren't finished, mate. It's part of their job.
A bad thing, Hawks, because the wee guys are standing, and Gerrard, to be fair, he's got a lot to do. He's straight in. He's followed with the backroom staff as the boy Mark Allen. They're all following him in, but then the goalkeepers come in, and it would be a big thing. I said it the other night. I've seen it a few times standing there. See wee lads are standing there in the bucket and rain, and they're getting horseback with the police and the horses and all that. They're just wanting a wee glimpse of them, and they've got a few pictures. They're probably going to have me pictures on their iPhones and that. And the wee guys have maybe just got a wee glimpse of Gerrard in the picture, and just you can't even make it the picture. A big thing for your club if they just stop for a wee second, went out, and it would take them half an hour, if that, and say, look, I've got to go, a quick picture with 4 or 5, whatever's standing there, just a wee quick picture and a way back in. I think that would go a long, long way for your club, I really do.
It's hard to disagree with that, Bridge. You know, anything that gets the younger people involved in, and when I say younger people, I'm talking about that sort of 7 to 12-year-old where you're just used to going to the football, etc. You're buying into it, you know.
Oh yeah, there's nothing like, as George says. I remember as a wee kid, and I lived in Bridgeton. We used to go up and down. There was two footballers owned 2 pubs in the main street in Bridgeton, both Rangers. Sammy Cox was one of them. I can't remember the other guy's name. But we used to go and look for autographs. And of course, I think we went up to the first person we saw. We were only kids. We didn't know who they were, you know. can I get an autograph? I hear ya. Some old drunk to get signed the autograph. But no, it's great. You remember these things, as George says. I don't know what the limitation on players when they're with the squad, whether they're playing or not. If they're with the squad, maybe they're part of the squad, if you follow what I mean. So maybe that's the reason why they haven't or aren't asked to do this. But I would love it, just like George says. I think it would be nice if the players who aren't in the squad, if they come off the bus and just join in with the crowd. Once the rest of the team go in, join in with the crowd, get a couple of wee handshakes and selfies and so on and so forth, and then make their way out. That's fantastic. I'd love it. I'd love that too. Make everybody's day, for sure. Make everybody's day.
It doesn't take a lot. But I'm sure if people get ideas what they would like, it'd be good to hear from them, George, because it's just something I feel passionate about. If we get this fan zone right, and it's a step in the right direction. If it works, we get that school and we start using the space right, and it becomes ours. The whole content of the game could improve.
Jeff G in the lobby says, I came down the marble staircase and was talking to Arthur Newman. We walked outside and the autographers told me to fuck off. Excuse the language. I think that's funny. Oh boy. Left a bad taste. Brilliant. See the funny things that things that happen to the fans and things like that. They're light-hearted, of course. Some of the ones are light. I don't mean anything serious. I think it's really great. Our fans are just tremendous, just fantastic. Like I said, George there. George posts a lot of good photographs with him and some of the Rangers players, and it's brilliant to see. Just brilliant to see.
I mean, I know the people work there, as George knows, they work the hospitality and that. And these people are paying a lot of money, maybe, but it's just the normal guy in the street. Maybe can't get near the hospitality, can't afford it. Maybe just struggling to take him and his two mains to the game. And you just a wee bit more for them, George.
That's it. Oh, by the way, the only reason I get to go to the hospitality is because of Joverman.
I couldn't. Bridge can afford it, George, but me and you can't.
That's right. When I was a young lad growing up in Stadium, and I could have only dreamt about meeting the guys. As we were at that duel last week with John Greig and things like that. I could have only dreamt about this. But see, if I had got to meet one of the guys when I was a young lad, that would have stayed with me for the rest of my life, folks. And I ken what Bridgeman's saying now. There's Graham Dorrans and the big boy Macaulay, and also Jamie Murphy, definitely injured, and Alfie is suspended, and also I think was suspended. Aldi was suspended. For them just to go, 5 of them, to stand for 10 minutes, because that's what it would take. There's not a baying crowd of that. There's maybe 20 young laddies there. And on last Wednesday night, remember, it was a bit snowy, it was a bit wet, it was a bit windy and things like that. The young lad had been standing there all day and all night. And I look at some of the times I came when my lad was young, it was a bit of a stretch to actually get him to go to football. Here, rather, I'm going to stay in the street and play with my pals tonight. See, maybe if you give them that wee kick and just say, well, there's Tavernier come off the bus and shook my hand or patted me in the shoulder. I mean, just a daft thing. There's one last night. I seen the one last night in the Champions League. Ronaldo standing beside the wee ball boy. I don't know if you've seen it on Facebook or that today. Standing beside the wee ball boy. And the wee boy's looking up to as if just in awe. I'm standing beside Ronaldo, and that Ronaldo rubbed his head. And the caption was, that meant nothing to Ronaldo, but that wee lad will remember that for the rest of his days. Just wee things like that. Now, the reason we're talking about this, Ox, is because we're starting to get right in on the park. We're starting to get a team together. We're starting to get a management team together that we're happy with. We're starting to go places. We can actually see us ready to win things. And now we're actually saying, well, let's get everything else. That's why we're picking these things up, Ox.
Speaking about,
on you go, Bridge. On you go, mate.
I was just going to say, speaking about Ronaldo, I don't know if anybody saw the goal he scored last night. What a fabulous header! I don't know if anybody's seen it. Just brilliant goal. Just well.
I'm in Messi. They're just
different class.
They just seem to, every time you think, well, they're on the way, and they just seem to keep going. Or do something that makes you just think they're special,
He got smashed last night, really. Smashed with his shoulder, and then the arm coming back with that one. I can't remember. Smalling, was it? Smalling for Man United, and it burst his nose and his face. You see the state of his face.
But that'll be a debate once the two of them are finished. Who was a better player? Everybody sees it slightly different. But George, you're right about we've done a lot of things right. Slowly, and I'm not expecting all these improvements to be done in a day. I think once we maybe get an opportunity, and if we get the relationship between the club and the fans right, the fans will maybe put money in if it's going to ultimately improve the stadium, because we've done it before.
That's the thing, Ox. No harm to wee Greg, because I can wee Greg does a good job. But I think now you can actually see the job that Jim Hanna did day before, because I think, see those daft things like that, you've been able to contact Jim Hanna with him and actually say, look, what's the crack here? How can you do a wee thing like that? You know, I think wee Greg, the liaison officer, I think he's got a different type of job for what Jim is. I think you're being able to email Jim here, emailed you back, you messaged him, and things like that. I think that'd been a wee bit different. And no, we're nitpicking here, Ox, because it's just, there's no things that it's bothering us. I think it's just things that would take our club to that next level. We missed out in 2 year young fans. I think to get these young guys back, I think that would be a good wee gesture. Like, and I'm not saying for the guys to get into it. There's a barrier, the barrier daft, and there's a bus. When the bus comes out, they walk to the side, we handshake, we think. I think do sweet daft things like that would make all the difference for our club, because we're desperate to get young laddies and lassies. I can we've got season tickets sold out every single week, Ox. But I think it's just, there's a boy at my work, for example, was showing him the pictures, and he was saying, oh, my laddie's, I think he's about 10, 11 now, Rangers daft, just wants to meet all the players. Ozzy doesn't meet all the players. If not got an opportunity, I said, well, if I get a chance, I'll take you and the laddie to the thing with and give him. And that's a good thing, Ox, because if you can do that for somebody, if there's one of the players came down the side and shook five or they'd be laddie's hands, that'd probably make their day. They go to school the next again, day absolutely buzzing. So just be daft things like that, Ox.
Aye. Listen, I'm hopefully I'll improve right with this, but I think the stadium might not be big enough if we get it right, Bridge. Bridge?
You're absolutely right. No, you're absolutely right. The stadium will definitely need to be increased at some point. I can't imagine it not being increased. However, it's how they would do it. It's what the engineering solution would be. Whether they go for an additional level and all the three stands, sort of a match to the main stand. What do they call it again? The big one up the top. What's the name of that deck again?
Club deck.
The club deck. Something like club deck.
Have you been to Ibrox Bridge?
Of course. I can't remember, but you know, my memory's not as good as it was. You know, sometimes
you were one of the first, didn't you? You got one.
I was up there to buy this. I told you before. I was away to buy the seats for two. I wanted to buy 2 seats, one for me and the wife. Like, and up we went, and the 2 cups. It was the last time we won the double, I think it was, and the Scottish Cup and the League Cup were sitting there, and some guys were taking photos and things like that. You know, I never thought too much about photos at that time. Anyway, we went in and I walked in for a wee bit, and they came back up and I said to her, come on down and look and we'll pick the seats. She walked into the very top platform and, oh no, I'm not. She's too steep for me. I'm the one to sit in here. So that was that going. That was a kibosh.
Anyway, we've been joined by Albert. Evening, Albert.
Oops.
How you doing, lads?
How's it going, Albert?
Not bad, mate. How you doing? Just to back up what George was saying, and you were talking about the show. I mean, I'm thinking once the show's up and running, some of the players that are not playing should be around at the show, meeting and greeting and match day for the wee boys.
Good idea, mate. Simple and effective, mate. Selling stuff, because they'll go and buy stuff to get an autograph, mate.
Yeah.
Aye, if you've got them bagging
as
the stuff.
You said, and once the fan zone's set up, I think it should be part of their duties anyway. You're not wanting to force them to do it. Obviously, you're not wanting to do it, but as George said, it would make me wee boys do it, really would. It would have made. See, when I was a boy and they'd done it to me, I'd be still talking about it now, and I'm 60 odd.
Aye. I mean, it's a special time when you're so young, and maybe innocence, maybe the right word, you know. And you're in all of these people as you get older. You obviously you just know they're just blokes the same as me and you, mate.
Right.
You know.
It's a good idea what George was saying. Though. I mean, you're saying, right, get involved with the support, especially the young ones. Not so much yours, but the young ones definitely.
They're the future, mate. They're the ones that's going to have kids. We're not having any more kids, are we? Well, I hope no.
I'm trying. I just can't find anybody.
Oh dear. Aye, the match day experience to make it better. It's just, I'm sure we'll get there, mate. I mean, obviously, we've got about 5 or 6 years we need to plug to get the stadium back to the standard it should be before we think about improving it.
What's your preference? For instance, Oxley, I can ask you a question on that, and George as well. And I've got anybody that's listening, Albert too. Some of the guys I've spoken to about this over the years, that they've thought that started off thinking we could put that intermediate to sort of deck in, put in a tier in both the Copeland, the Sandy Jardin and the Broomlawn. And others have said, no, what we should do is rip them down and start from scratch, sort of flatten the whole stadium with the exception of the main stand at the moment and work for there. And I'm wondering, I don't know whether that'd be a good idea or not. You could do it one stand at a time, of course, but I just don't know. What do you guys think? Oh, of course, it'll be a lot of money. Absolutely.
I mean, there's the Real Madrid. You say this summer they're going to start refurbishing the Bernabeu, and they reckon it will take maybe 5 years, and it's going to cost £1 billion. £1 billion? Good grief! I've been to the Bernabeu, and it's a beautiful stadium, absolutely stunning stadium as it is now. But obviously they see it and they're going to. And I saw I think it was an artist's impression of what it's going to look like. Oh my God, it looks fabulous, just fabulous. Incredible. Watch what you're doing as well. I mean, if you extend the stadium and enlarge the stadium, you might be left with they clowns across the city with a big white elephant. You know what I mean? Or full stadium, and it looked terrible the way their stadium looks, like Etihad.
Etihad.
You need to get it right, mate. That's where you need to get it right.
Aye.
Yes.
Something's going to be done. I think Dave King intimated that there's going to be something done at the stadium for the 150th anniversary.
Well, it's not that far away now, 2.5 years.
I don't know what he was made of, but that's what he did say. So what form that takes? That might be take new bulbs in the toilets or something. I don't know.
Exactly. That's what it will be. That's what it will be, pal. That's what it will be. No, I think we're going to put. I think they're talking about a new pitch. One of these, same as what they've got.
He was talking about for the stadium bridge when there was one percent he mentioned that there was something.
Sorry. Yeah. Okay.
But well, we'll see. I mean, it's all about whether you get it right, and to do all these things off the park, you need to be getting it right on the park. All better, George.
Well, first and foremost on the park, that'll draw the crowds back in. You know what I mean? Keep them in.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? If you've got it right on the park, but if you've not got it right in the park, you'll see what the Rangers fans at the moment are sticking with the club because people try to kill their club. But eventually it's going to get to standing at the same 2 feet on a football merit alone for the fans I'm talking about. And if they don't start winning in the park, you start seeing some of the crowd going, "Oh, come on, let's get a team here. This is slaughter watching this nonsense." Eventually that's coming, and you've got to face up to that. No, they knew. I don't think it's new. I don't think it will be in the near future, but it eventually will come.
George?
No, for me, Ox. See the extending the stands and things like that, or taking anything away and putting anything in like that. I don't think you've got to go down that route just yet, Ox. I don't think we're at that position yet. I believe we've got a bit of a waiting list for season tickets, and that's the way it should be. Rangers should have a waiting list for season tickets because you always want people to want to get the next batch of tickets coming out, and that's fair enough. We should always have that, but for me, just looking at the stadium, you look at the main stand, you look at the Broomland, to the outside I'm talking about the Sandy Jardin or the Copeland, it's absolutely magnificent. It's magnificent inside. Keep it like that. I don't think there's any reason for a team in Scotland. I can name out the city's got 10,000 bigger. That's fine if you can fill it every week. That's fine. But I think us having our 50,000 seater, fill it every single week with beers, I think that's fine. If you go any bigger than that and you can't fill that, it's just a bit of but I don't think we're in that position to do that yet, Oxford. If we're back in the Champions League for 5 and 6 and 7 years in a row, winning championships and that again, and the season ticket would you call it, list goes absolutely massive. That's fair enough, but we're not in that position to do that yet. For me, for one, I'm just happy to see our team doing well. And by the way, I love going to the football, but see if it came to the point with that, I'd be happy to give my ticket to somebody else to go, because I'm just glad to see the team doing well, Ox. I don't think we're at a position to actually start expanding stadiums and taking bits away and things like that.
Oh, I'm not saying it's a short-term thing, George. When I see you getting right on the park, you don't win the League Cup and say, "Oh, by the way, we're knocking down the Copeland Road stand." You know what I mean?
No, that's right.
One bit I'd like to see, George. One bit I'd like to see sorted is that away fan, that corner. I'd like that corner away from away fans on the other side of the park. Something built in the corner at the other side of the park, so the cameras are not on them. The way they do to us up at that midden. I don't like when you the cameras are, it's a televised game and you pan Ibrox and you see them sitting in the corner and any other fans sitting in that corner. I don't like that at all. Should be out of sight, out of mind as far as I'm concerned.
Oh, Ben, I said this a while ago. I don't know how they would do it, but I think it would require a really ingenious engineering solution to fill in certainly the corner between the broom lawn and the main stand. That's the corner.
Well, anyway, there's a tune coming on. Fox has got a fag packet. We'll see if we can solve that engineering problem, Bridget. Get yourself in mute and we'll have a tune. Oh, wait a minute. Can we just... we've got a message here. Just let me see. I've got to do something here. Somebody's just sent me it right on cue, but... Oh, this is quite sweet. The tune tonight is dedicated to Butterbean and his missus. 32 years of marriage. 2 years happily married and 32 years together. Oh, Butterbean, what a romantic. Take it away, old school.
He is a romantic, yes.
Thanks for that. What about Brooklyn Bear? Poppy their bridge. That was a bit. Oh, we'll be joined by a caller. I believe it's Mrs. Butterbean.
Oh, no.
Mrs. Butterbean's joined us. Oh, sorry, only kidding, Butterbean. No. Be back, lads.
Yes, indeed.
Aye, be back.
Backing up.
Aye. Aye, well, we'll see how it pans out. Bridge, you were coming in there before we come in to tune me. One thing before, long time ago, was it?
What was the topic at the time? I think we were talking about stadium. Stadium, whether it would happen or no. And I agree with you. I was just going to say I agree. It could take, that's a kind of 10-year type project.
Here.
That's exactly what it will take. We would need to be, as George says, we need to be well in as far as able to get into the Champions League. And actually, you know, if Rangers and that mob across the city go and have another real long run in the UEFA League, the UEFA Cup, Europa League, that could increase our, the coefficient. And if the coefficient's up a bit, we can get two people or two teams. It won't be long until we get two teams in the Champions League again. That's unless, of course, they change it, you know. But that's what I'm looking for. I agree. Progress.
That's never going to happen again.
What's that, buddy?
I don't think we're ever going to get two teams back in the Champions League.
Well, they were talking about it last year, and it was they said that we were very close, because I think that if we get, I can't remember if it's 19, we're about 21 or something like that anyway, and our run in the Europa League and Celtic's run, it raised us up to something like 21 or 22. I might be wrong in the figures, but they were talking about if we can get it above 19, you're in with a shout at getting a second team. I don't know if it's true or not. Maybe somebody just pulling my leg, you know.
We'll see when it changes.
If truth be told, we should be in the European Knitting Championship the way we play football.
I mean, they play a different game for the rest of Europe, didn't they?
We're unique.
By the way, guys, Jeff G just put a cracking thing in the forum there. He says it's not going to happen, but I think he's talking in general to myself. Scotland, the way Scotland are playing, they're just screwing up the coefficient, you know. So that might be true. Maybe I'm totally gone then.
Do the national team give points for the coefficient for the league? I
don't know.
The club teams, I don't think they do, mate.
It might be just Scotland's coefficient, you know. I don't know.
No, they do. Do
they?
Aye, they do. That's why there was, like, for example, I can't remember, but there was a team in the UEFA Cup this year, and it was basically because they'd done so well. It was Iceland or something like that, and that's why. So all mingles in together, you get so many points and things like that. So that's what I was thinking there when you were actually talking about it. For all that us Rangers and that lot are there, we're doing well this season. They're probably just doing the kick in the teeth of the tartan trannies had a couple of weeks ago there. So I think all comes into one.
I think, guys, Jez JC just put in the lobby that we were 5 points away from getting a second Champions League place. There you go, in the coefficient. So that's not too bad. And maybe in two seasons, providing we keep with performance right, you know. And
the point being, what do you need to do to gain the 5 points? Get to the quarterfinals or semi-finals or something?
Oh, God knows. You know, I really don't know.
Pot the blue.
The pot the blue, aye. It'd be interesting to see anyway, because it's obviously a challenge, not just for Rangers. It's a challenge for all the other teams that are in the Europa League as well. If they can get through 2 or 3, and even getting qualified would be a good thing as well, you know. I don't know whether qualification rounds count for what do you call it, the coefficient points. I just don't know.
Let's be honest, I can't bring myself to support any other team in Europe, or whatever. I just couldn't do it. I've been supporting football for many a long year. All Mac in there, much the same. And years ago, I would have watched any team. Really and truly, I'd have watched anybody. And if it was a Scottish team, I would have supported them. You know, up to a point, I would have supported them seriously.
The only ones I never supported was them across the city. I was never a supporter of theirs for any game. But any other team I would support because they're Scottish. The Scottish national team, I would go to all the games at Hampden. That's no kidding. No problem at all. I was a real good Scottish football supporter. But, see this last 7 years, sorry, I wouldn't give them my breath. No way. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't give them nothing. I don't want to give them anything for anything. I'll not say it again because the guys are sick fed up of me hearing saying it. I just can't be bothered with them. Can't be bothered. Tried to kill my team, my club, my life. Shocking. Just shocking. The sooner we can shake them out with hair and no bother about them, the better. I'm going to shut up.
You all right now? All right now. Listen, I'm going to take a wee walk down memory lane. Obviously, some of this stuff we might not be able to comment on because a lot of it was away before our time, but we're going to look at all the people that's managed by Clubman Knightsbridge. For right for the start, which we can't comment on too much because we weren't there, but we've ended up with quite a lot of people have been managing, took part or managed the club even for just 1 or 2 games. It used to be not that many, but it's quite a few now.
So are we starting from the start? Yeah, right from the very start.
How many people do you think have actually managed the club for at least 1 game? No, just
for God's sake! What was it? Was it something like 20? Was it 20 or something like that?
Can you go, Albert?
You say just manage the club for what? How many people have just managed the club for 1 game?
The people that have maybe been the interim managers,
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah. Well, there's what? McDowell, was he one? And there was
but how many managers is that gives in total?
Right, so it's total managers.
It shocked me when I looked at it. It's 26 is the
26?
Answer.
God, I don't think it was that many.
26. Good grief.
And most of them have came in the last few years.
The last 6 years, yeah, absolutely.
How many managers do we have up to 2012?
No, that many. I mean, obviously, we had William Walton, Bill Struth, Scott Simon, Davy Wilson. But who else done his? Willie Thornton done his for, I think, 1 game. And then Davy White came in, Willie Waddle, Jock Wallace, John Greig, I think Alec Totten done a game. Jock Wallace came back in, Alec Totten done a game, Walter Smith came in, Graham Souness, Walter Smith, Dick Advocat, Alex McLeish, Paul McGuinn, Walter back, and then Ali. So most of them have been in the last few years. Gerrard done one, didn't he? Gerrard done one with Paul McGuinn, between Paul McGuinn and Walter coming back. Is that right? Have I got that right? Or have I got it wrong? Somebody help me. That's from memory.
McDowell and McCall.
But then you had obviously.
Gerrard was 2007 Oxford. 2007.
That was like when he done beating Dunfermline in the cup, I think 3-2.
Yeah,
that's right.
Walter Smith that was up to 2012, mate. Obviously Ali, then Ali, and then McDowell, then Stuart McCall, then Warburton, then Murray, then Kachina, then Murray.
Jimmy
Nicol. I think Jonathan Hansen done 1 game as well. So there's been loads in the last few years. But when I looked at that today, I couldn't believe it. But
was it not Jimmy Nicol and Johansson? Did they not?
I think Johansson done 1 game.
Oh, did he? Okay, pal. Okay.
But goodbye. Obviously, William Walton, then Bill Struth. Bill Struth, very successful. But then we'll move into maybe an era. I don't think Albert or maybe. No, but the Scott Simon era, Bridgeman.
Yeah, no, that's when I started supporting him. It was Scott Simon was the manager, and was for a long time. He was a Rangers manager for what I can't remember. Probably something like maybe 14 years or something like that. Something like 14 years, 13 or 14 years. He was a manager of Rangers, which is a long time and a very successful manager, nevertheless, very successful.
1954, 55, 67, 68 he finished.
Wow. Yeah, 15 years. Aye, he was a great manager, and as I say, that's when I started following it. It'd be nice to hear from you, like all Mac, because Mac will have sort of a better memory than I will, I would imagine, of the early days of Scott Simon, or the earlier days of Scott Simon, because that was running about the late 50s. I actually started going over to Ibrox and seriously, you know. But I thought we'd done very well with Scott Simon, with a fantastic series of victories. That man had tremendous. Great stuff. Won about
711 games as manager.
Wow. Jesus.
1,790 goals for, 822 against.
And that's what, 820, that's like 50-50, wasn't it?
Aye. But that I mean, before my time, I mean, but that was a golden era. The 50s and the 60s, Bridge, particularly the start of the 60s.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, definitely, pal, definitely.
But just have a look and see how much silverware he won, all there. A bit before your time, mate.
I'm still getting breastfed at that point, mate.
What, at secondary school?
I was 25 before I started getting breastfed.
Quite right, mate. Not a bad hobby, is it?
He was a success. What I remember him, he was successful. That's what I remember the tail end of him. It's Davy White that springs to my mind with that squeaky voice. That's one I remember first, really.
Some people. On you go. No, on you go.
Was unlucky. He was unlucky. He just landed in the right time, Davy White. He landed in their ear, you know what I mean, when they were top of the tree, the Jock Stein and all that. So it was just unlucky. Because I thought Davy White was not a bad manager.
I don't think Davy White lost a match to Celtic the time he was with Rangers. I don't think he lost any games to Celtic. I thought he was a manager of Clyde, and Clyde were third in the league, which is fantastic considering the Rangers and Celtic back then. So he done very well for them.
There we go. So some interesting stats from Scott Simon. Obviously played for the club 32 games, league games, 3 goals. He played for Scotland at cricket in 1938, taking 5 Australian wickets for just 33 runs.
Cap him.
There we go. 6 league championship, 5 Scottish Cup, 4 league cups, and also got us to 2 European finals. He did indeed. Some people say, George, I know this is way before your time, but some people say that we get rid of him too soon. And I know Albert's saying that Davy White was maybe the wrong time, but we reacted. The Berwick Rangers thought it was too big. One bad result, a fluke result.
No, but it was I think the Berwick Rangers result was just too big for a lot of folk associated with Rangers. It was just one of the unthinkable things, and it actually happened. And I have to say that through my life supporting Rangers, we've shot ourselves in the foot so many times. It's no countable. Incredible stuff. I remember with Soonest Brock, who was at Hamilton Accies. Do you remember when Hamilton Accies came to Ibrox?
They were in the top flight.
No, I'm saying, but they remember when it happened. Soonest was there, and that was a shock for Soonest. That was a shock,
See, in my mind, by the way, that's just football. That's the way it should.
Well, of course it is.
These shocks should happen. You know what I mean? It makes the game more interesting. It makes it unpredictable. The way it is now, it's all predictable and it's boring. When you look at all the leagues throughout Europe, man, you know within 2-3 teams are going to win it. apart from Scotland, and neither just run riot because of the challenge. But apart from that, then the Champions League, you look at the Champions League, you know who's going to... The last 6 teams, you could pick 4 of them every year. So that's all just boring to me. It's just... It's like, say, your Berwick Rangers and all that. That's how it should be, unpredictable. You go to a park and you don't know the result. You've got to go and fight and play football and win the game. That's what it should be. That's what football is, unpredictable.
And plus the fact that it was cup. Cup games should always be unpredictable. That's the goodness in the cup, isn't it? Lower teams playing the bigger teams, and it gives them the fight. But I think when I look at Rangers, certainly when I supported them, they could easily have, in my opinion, they could easily have had more than 100,000 people at Ibrox. They were that good a team with all these good players. They were fantastic to watch. Really cavalier, very attack-minded, scored a lot of goals. You can't ask for anything better than that, to be honest. But sometimes, like even now today, we still shoot ourselves in the foot. We talk about the St Johnstone games and the Dundee games and the Hamilton Accy games, all this. We still talk about them. We can't believe when we go there, these teams could take goals after us. How can that happen? That's what Rangers fans are like, for sure.
Could you imagine what it would be like if we went through every season undefeated and won every cup? And no, that's no football.
I'll tell you what, if you just gave 6 or 7 games undefeated, I'd have been happy this season. And that's the truth.
Right. You've been hell of a quiet.
I was just listening to you too. Davy White came in 67 to 69, mate. Never won us any silverware. But signed some good players. They signed Alec McDonald, Colin Steen. Maybe started, you could argue, was laying the foundations for ultimate success in Barcelona, Albert.
Yeah. I think it was ahead of his time. Especially if you listen to any videos or any wee clippets and interviews you get him, he's ahead of his time, the guy. It just happened that just right place, right time. Because they were going through their 9 in a row and they've won the European Cup and stuff like that. No, I mean, they just happened to have that team. So,
Albert. Davy White was one that fell out with Alec Ferguson. And that's one of the reasons why Alec Ferguson left the Rangers.
Oh, he got the blame in the Scottish Cup, didn't he? Was it 4-1? Where he didn't pick up the corner.
Oh, it was shocking. I was at the game. It was absolutely shocking playing against him. Everybody knew he's going to come in and head the ball. That's what he did, and he did.
Yep. But Ferguson, he got the blame in that. But it was his job to pick him up, and they didn't pick him up. And he's been bitter ever since, Ferguson, about that. He still talks about that to this day. He shouldn't get sacked for Rangers or get put out of Rangers because of that. He didn't. He ended up playing.
Alec Ferguson ended up playing for Rangers' third team. So the story goes, against Glasgow Corporation Transport in the West of Scotland leagues. There you go. That's what I heard. So that's pretty poor. And he obviously went away to greater times because he ended up one of the finest managers in the world.
I remember I was at the game at Ibrox when he was fighting the Colin Steen. Remember that game?
Aye.
2 of them get sent off. Remember that?
Aye. He
was playing with Hibs.
Fergie would have fought with anybody because that's just his nature.
So was Steen. He ended up my hero right enough, Steen.
I know. I went with Skipper to one of these presentation nights with Willie Johnson and Colin Steen. And he was given his patter with what it was like and so on and so forth, and you just knew it was like. The memory was there, and I think Skipper and I absolutely thoroughly enjoyed that night. It was a fantastic night. Just recalling the goals he scored for the Rangers, and we remembered them because in some cases we were there at them. Just amazing. What a number of goals he scored for us. I just loved the Colin Steen. Just loved him.
All right, so after Colin Steen, obviously Willie Waddle came in, who ultimately never won us the league. Won us our first trophy in a few years, the 1971 League Cup, which obviously is the game that launched Derek Johnston onto let's just say the world stage. Big DJ became a big star as a young man. Then we had obviously the disaster that Willie led for the front for and then ultimately Barcelona before he let Big Jock take over. Willie Waddle wasn't actually waits that long.
I moved up to the board. He went up and virtually ran Rangers up the stair, you know.
Aye.
No, he was a big say in Rangers history, him.
Aye, obviously, but also he's only manager in our history to take us to a European trophy. And you look at the teams we played in that run, they were all pretty good size we played, you know.
Oh, it's fantastic. It's the game that just sticks in, apart from the final, the game that sticks in my head was the Bayern Munich game at Ibrox. There was a wee boy sitting up in one of the walls, you know what I mean? The white wall used to go right round the ground. Sitting there, I always remember sitting there up at that cell again, and that goal that Parlane scored. Sandy Jardine scored, wasn't it? The one that curled in. Brilliant.
I was a young team that night, obviously. A great run. Then Big Jock Wallace came in, won us the Centenary Cup final, 73, Big Tam Versailles final, 74, nothing. I think we might have won the Driver Cup, can't remember. Then obviously 75, Colin Steen come back, Bridge, header, and won us the league. Yeah.
He's just, these are wonderful memories, just wonderful memories. They wash right over you. Marvellous, just marvellous. I wish old Mac would come on and give us some spiel about what it was like when he'll remember more about these things in the earlier days, of Scott Simon than I would,
But at Jock Wallace, new Bridge, keep up.
Yeah, sorry, pal. I do apologise. I was way back. Talking about Colin Steen and all that, I was way back, so do forgive me, everybody. Do forgive me.
George, I'll get you your time. Bridge Fox, you must be ways now. Jock Wallace came in. Colin Steen, 73. 73 season. So 5 seasons, 2 trebles. Centenary Cup final. Done okay, Big Jock, yeah?
Aye, Big Jock done well, mate. That's a bit one of the, apart from his work on the park, mate, I think what he became famous for was the old Ghislaine Sands, wasn't it? And the way he got the fitness into the side, and that's what drove us on to the sort of results, mate. Yeah, I like Big Jock, straight as a die, tell you how he felt and didn't hold back.
Big Jock was one of the managers that I thought with the teams that he built were, you just felt you could beat anybody. I don't care who came to Ibrox. It was one Big Jock's team. You just felt you could beat anybody. I've never really felt like that since then. That don't care who it is, we'll beat them. We don't care. Not that we did beat everybody, but it just felt that you could beat everybody. I love the teams that he built, and that's no mean task to trebles. You know what I mean? That is no mean task to do that. No, it's not so much a hard task, you know what I mean? There's no competition, but at that time, it's no mean task.
And also the draw for the League Cup, where you could play anybody in the first round. You didn't go into it in the last 16. Aye. You know what I mean? It's a bit of a fast in the League Cup because teams in Europe don't go into the last 16, which makes that it's pretty much the winners are coming for the teams that are coming into it late on. But Big Jock, as I say, 1, 2 trebles, and then left us, and John Greig came in, arguably the greatest ever Rangers in his first season. We were so close to a quadruple, actually. A fixture chaos cost us, Bridgeman, yes.
Well, guess who did
familiar. It? Yeah, that sounds familiar.
Guess who caused that, huh? Better believe it's familiar.
Remember he signed Ian Redford, if I'm right in this, he signed Ian Redford. Ian Redford was for Dundee, and Ian Redford was the top goal scorer of Scotland that year. And we signed him in his first game for Rangers. I'm sure John Greig played him at left back. Me and my brother laughed. This is some team we're building. The top goal scorer in Scotland's our left back. But I think it was only an emergency thing. If I remember it rightly, I might not remember it right, because my memory is shocking.
Greig came in, started 78, 79. I think Redford came in a wee bit later than that, mate. But obviously, John Greig came in. He ultimately he never won the league with quite success in the cups. Ultimately led to Big Jock coming back, and then Jock came back, couldn't turn it around again. Got success in the particular League Cup, and then the man Souness walks in the door, which we talked about last week. Bridgeman,
Mr. Souness, Mr. Suave, and I thought he was fantastic, and what he did for our club. What can I say? He's going to be up there. He's immortal for me. He came in and he came and he succeeded, and laid the foundation for us to go on 9 in a row. Absolutely amazing. What character. Wonderful for our club. Wonderful. Brought our club from, pretty lowly area, right up to the very top again. And everybody hated him. Everybody else, should I say, hated him for it, you know. But my God, what a character. What a great manager.
Here's one, Ox. Do you remember that? I think that was the year that Jock Stein died, wasn't it, at Scotland games and at Wales?
1985, that was.
Right. And I remember that night, Souness, before he died, Souness was in an interview in the tunnel in that game, and he turned around and says, right out the blues, they're going like, what are you going to do when you're getting up football? And he went, the guy that turns around Glasgow Rangers, he says he's got a job for life. That's what he said in that tunnel. And then in 86, he was a Rangers manager. I always remember that. So you're sitting going, he knew roughly around there they were touting for him to be the Rangers manager then. In my abiding memory, the first memory I got with Souness was him kicked lumps out the tunnel at Ibrox. He was getting his first press conference in the Rangers strip. He was putting a pair of boots on, and it must have been somebody else's boots, and he started kicking the wall to get them on. I was like, hard as nails. He's even tackling the walls.
It was something special. Then obviously Walter came in. After Souness left, we were a bit flat. Walter got us over the line, the famous game when Mark Haley scored the 2 goals and led us into the first Champions League, where we got to the semi-final of that. Aye. Walter done a great job, but the question I want to ask that, well, George, you can come in now because we're starting to get run about your era, George. Walter Smith managed the club twice. We've talked about these other managers. Who would you say, Bridgeman, was the greatest ever Rangers manager?
What can I say? I go back to Scott Simon. I know he was a fantastic manager, but most of his success, truth be told, was actually before I got involved. Was watching the Rangers. If you're looking from a historic perspective, Bill Struth's got to be the greatest ever Rangers manager. But if I think about it, what I've seen and the way the club was, I would suggest that Graham Souness was our best ever manager for turning the club around. For success on the pitch, Walter Smith takes some beating. Walter Smith and Advocat, they were great for us. But I would suggest that Souness, modern day football, he's the one that's turned us around, got the investment in, and started the rebuilding the Rangers. So I would put him down as him and Smith between them, probably the best two managers we've had.
Okay, I would go Bill Struth, Walter Smith, and I'll tell you why, Bridge. I accept your point. The Souness era was a special time for me because the age I was. I loved every minute of it, but Walter done it twice, mate. He done it. Then he came back and turned us around. So I'm putting him ahead of Souness because of that. I think Souness was the catalyst for the 9 in a row, but Walter came in and got us another 3 in a row when nobody thought he would do it, and also got us to that final in Manchester. So Walter 2, Graham 3, and Willie Waddle, who won us that European trophy 4, then Jock Wallace. Albert?
I've had to disagree. Mine would be Struth, Simon, Wallace, Smith.
God, I forgot about Scott Simon. Aye, Simon Wallace, Wallace, Smith, Struth, Simon, Wallace, Simon, Wallace, Wallace, Smith. Aye,
I mean, and then Wallace. That would mean. But they 4 or 5 managers will just. He could put them in any order. Let's be honest. Well, I think Struth actually stands alone. No, I mean just for trophies alone and league titles alone.
I noticed that you haven't put McCoist in there.
I think that's the next list, working under one of the worst managers the Rangers ever had.
Oh, tell me about it. Tell me about it.
Highest win ratio out them all, mate. 72%.
That's true, Fox. That is true.
What's that? I missed that.
You said they the highest win ratio, 72%.
Who's that?
It's McCoist.
Come on.
Come on, Fox. Give us your top 3, mate.
Oh, God. It's probably going to be Paul Struth, number 1. I think he won about 30 individual honours, mate. Then probably, for me, Walter Smith, and then for the best football advocate, mate.
That was a purple season with advocate. What I didn't like about it, when the wheels came off, they came off big time, didn't they?
Aye, but still, it was the best out of the other years had been gone, mate. It was the most flamboyant football I'd ever seen at Ibrox, and we had great stars, great foreign stars as well mixed in there. I just thought his football was the best that we've ever seen. Just my opinion.
Aye. Right. George, you with us, mate? You can come back now. I've now moved on to the modern era.
That's it. I mean, you listen to all you were all lucky. I got to see a bit of Graham Souness, but I was too young to appreciate it, to be honest. Walter Smith for me, I don't think Walter Smith will ever be overtook. For me, it doesn't matter what happens in Rangers in the coming years. I don't think he'll ever be overtook for me. The Dick Advocat was a special time because of the money we spent. We brought in players that we can only dream about now, and for me, that's what that was. But for me, I don't ever think that Walter Smith coming back the second time will ever be beaten. He'll come back and win league titles. Took us to something I didn't think I would ever see. Oaks, Rangers in the European final. I don't think. I mean, for the teams that we've had over the years, we keep on talking about this. The '93 team, '94 team, '95. I'll go all the way right through that and you come on, you go to Advocate, £100 million players team. And the one that got you to the UEFA Cup final was a guy with a team with like Kurt Broadfoot and Stephen Davis and Jean-Claude Darcheville and that. I mean, you would never thought that in years gone by, but for me, Walter Smith is definitely the greatest ever Rangers manager. I mean, it's just your generation thing. You're all saying Struth, and again, obviously you've never seen him and things like that, but for me, it's definitely got to be Walter Smith. I don't think anybody will ever come close to that, Ox. See, can I ask you a question, by the way, Ox?
Yeah, I know.
Greg, there wasn't why I interrupt you, but I was at a do with John Greig last week and he was talking about a boy that played wing back. Would it have been Bobby Russell? No.
Bobby Russell, I played in midfield. Bobby Russell was a smashing
player. Boy, he was talking about a boy. He said every single time he tackled somebody, he said just battered them. He said the hardest tackle he'd ever made.
Wasn't it Bobby Russell?
I can't remember who it was anyway. He said, and every time this person tackles some dogs, he said he had to go and grab him and say, "You've got one last chance, you can't do that again." So he said that it was in a European game at Ibrox. I can't remember, I think it was a quarter final or something. He said, and he's winging up the wing, this wee boy. He said, and this wee winger ran and battered him. John Greig ran and said, "What are you?" I'm sure he said Bob, I can't remember the boy's name. "What are you doing? He said, "Johnny was getting away from me." He said, "He's a substitute warming up." He said, "That's how hard that boy was." He said, "He was even tackling the substitutes." I can't remember the boy's name, but just I think stories like that was absolutely brilliant. But going back to what you're saying, for me, the greatest ever Rangers manager would be Walter Smith. And again, you can't kind of compete with like what you were saying in that, when me saying my number 2 would be Dick Advocat and number 3 would be Alex McLeish. But I think, and I know this again, it's laughs and jokes aside, I think you've got to Gallagher McCoist a mention because he wasn't a great manager, but he was a great person. And I think I'll keep on saying this, Ox, and I've always got to say this when we talk about this. I don't think we can actually. I don't think any other good managers would have took us through that time. he wasn't a good manager, but he was a good man, and he led us through a certain time. And I don't think many other people could have done so. I've always got to give him that special mention. He'll always be a legend for me. Like
Fox has got an opinion. He's had it for a long while. We've talked about it often. He should have walked away the year sooner, and things would have looked at differently with the support. Fair comment, George. I mean, I can't argue with a lot of that, but the only one I can think of who get sent off quite quickly as a young man was, he ended up in the dugout with Stuart McCall, was Kenny Black. During John Greig's era, he might have been that kind of player. Alec Forsyth, maybe. Alec Forsyth, they brought him in. Full back.
I can't remember his name. When he named the team, it was played in the 63 team. When he named the team, he said it was...
the 63 team?
Aye.
I thought you were talking about the manager, when he was manager.
No. When he played in the team, like I think it was, did they get to European semi-final or final in 63 or something like that? Was that right?
Eintracht Frankfurt, was that the Eintracht Frankfurt?
That was the team he was talking about. He said that was the best ever team he ever played in. Like he said they were second to none. Like.
Aye, played with some players, John Greig, didn't he, Fox? Fox?
Sorry, Ox, I was doing something. I played with great players. They played alongside Willie Henderson, Big McKinnon. Oh God, the name's going and on. I think he would have played with most people like that, mate. You know.
Aye, Jim Baxter.
God, aye. Jimmy Muller, Davy Wilson,
Ralph
Brand, aye. Bobby Shearer,
Eric Caldo.
I was trying to think of that player that George was talking.
Is John Greig his manager? The one I would think would be Kenny Black, mate.
Kenny Black or Kenny Watson? Was Kenny Watson not there at the time? No.
Nah, but he was in that type.
No, it was actually when he was playing, but he said it was actually when he was
playing.
They were playing in a European game. I'm sure it was about that at the time, the 63 year round about that era.
George, I think it was 1960. That was the year that the great Real Madrid versus Eintracht Frankfurt at Hampden.
I don't think Greig was in.
But that's where I know we played them in the European semi-final that year, and they beat us.
Slaughtered.
He was saying as well. So I didn't expect him to be a great talker in that Ox. I can't remember enough the story, but and he was talking away and he said the thing about 70. He said when he got to 72 after the upsets and that, he said it was for all years and he was talking about fans. He said that's the reason I wanted to win that. You had to do that night. He said you got 2-0, you think to yourself this is definitely got to beat. He said they bring it back. You think oh here we go. He said but I wanted to win it for all them. He said the fans were everything. He said then when we won it, he said no, the fans came on to swap medals at the end, to swap prizes. He said at the end of the game, he said so that happened, whatever happened. He said and the Spanish posters were just getting everybody. It didn't matter where you were, just on a plane and home, and that was it. He said and this boy woke up in Manchester. I said where are you? He said Manchester Airport. He said how did I get here? He said you got off that flight or did we go for the wrong flight? He said no, I drove to Spain 2 days ago. He said how did I manage to fly home? Boy left his car in Spain. Absolutely brilliant.
Come on, Fox. Let people know who that was. Aye, fantastic.
Wasn't me, I'll tell you that.
Who would that have been in that team then? Bobby Shearer?
The Rangers team then, are you talking way back at Eintracht Frankfurt time or what?
No, when John Greig was playing, I don't think he wasn't playing then in the 60s, was he?
No, I was Niven, Shearer, Caldow, Davis, Patterson, Baxter, Scott McMillan, Miller, Brandon Wilson.
Harold Davis. It's got to be Harold Davis, isn't it? When John Greig says he's the hardest man he's ever played with, must be Harold Davis.
He said he was just hard as every time anybody came up against Wallop, he got done. He says, and then that time he said he walloped this boy. He said, "What'd you do that for?" He said, "You got to end up getting booked here." He said, "I had to, John. He was getting away from me." He said, "He's a substitute warming up." Walloped the boy at the side. Absolutely fantastic.
Military man, you know. Military man. Hard as nails.
He got machine gun to the nose, mate, Bridge. Was it Harold Davis who got machine gun?
Harold Davis, I think it was a Korean War or something like that.
That's right.
Caught him the Korean War. He was he was very famous for chasing one of the Italian players. I think it was one of the Italian clubs were playing, and he chased their player, and the player ended up jumping behind their goalkeeper. Don't let him hit me.
Because they hurt me Willie.
Probably. He was a very tough guy, big tough guy, you know, Al Davis. He went from player to coach. He ended up a trainer for Rangers. Sorry, pal.
Yeah, I'll ask you a question, George. It's no fair on you, but you can maybe comment on it. Would a lot of similarities between John Greig, manager, and Alan McCoist, because they'd be up there as greatest ever Rangers players, but it never quite worked out for them as manager. Albert.
Oh no, Greig. I don't disagree with George because he's got a good point. He is a hero, Ali. You know what I mean? A nice guy, but I'm just talking from a strictly manager point of view. No. Greig was a better manager than him. He just never had it in my eyes. But as a guy, was first class, and for what he done for us, first class as well.
You know, he was the man that stood up and said to Charles Green, "There's absolutely no way we should be letting him take titles," because Green was ready for letting him take 3 titles and 4 cups or something. Right. You know, right. And he said, "No, that's not right." And Green went to war with him.
I'm talking to a manager, a football manager's point of view. No, he wasn't that. But he is a hero. And he should be welcome back to Ibrox. I know he's a bit of Uncle Tom at the times at the moment with some of the things he's saying, but he's still a hero.
Mm-hmm. John Greig, I mean, he was unlucky, Bridgeman, obviously. The first season, they lost the league by a couple of points. Quarter-final European Cup after knocking out the champions of Italy and Holland. We're unlucky. Our talisman at the time was injured, Derek Johnson, for the games against Cologne. And we don't know how that would have took us if that he'd have been fit. So John Greig nearly got after a fantastic start, and after that the team just seemed to get all together and he never replaced him and it never worked out.
I think Greig was very unlucky. He obviously came as a player to manager, which was a tremendous step for anyone, but did quite well. But I think the luck ran out after 1 year, and the money ran out as well because he had virtually no investment. I
think he was a bit too loyal with the players and all, because they were still his mates. You know what I mean? I think it was
very difficult, isn't it? It's very difficult to step away like that, isn't it? However, I'm not trying to take anything away from Greig. Greig was, and I don't know there's not very many Rangers fans didn't think Greig was probably the greatest ever Ranger. And to me, he's just outstanding. What a service for us. But management-wise, well, sorry. But he's still there. He's still as a director of our club, and he's helping us through.
Mm-hmm. Well, he won a few cups. Obviously, won 2 cups his first season as manager. We go to the Scottish Cup final nearly every year under Greig, but we the Hampden Riot game and the 2 games against Aberdeen, but we just couldn't get consistency in the league. Albert.
See, Greig, I'll ask you that. I'm not going to answer your question, but I'll ask you this. Did you not get a big smile in your face and make you feel happy with the day you walked back into Ibrox after all that debacle? Because I couldn't stop smiling when I seen him walking back into Ibrox again.
It was a signal to the Bears that everything was all right, wasn't it?
It just made me... It just lifted me, you know what I mean? Knowing that he was back sitting in his seat up in that stand. I mean, it really did. It still does now. I still feel it now, that lift he gave me when he walked back in there, and I went, it's going to be all right now. There's John Greig back.
Stabbed in the back.
I don't know how you feel about it.
I know.
That's for sure. He was stabbed in the back. Of course he was, mate. But yeah. I was never so happy to see somebody walking back into Ibrox again in all my life. I really was. And as a manager, I thought he was all right as a manager. He had a philosophy. I remember once he said he was going to give up the middle and just play up the wings. I was like, that's going to be interesting. But as you say, Doc, he nearly pulled it all off. You've had unlucky.
Well, it was 5 years, wasn't it? Was it 5 years he was manager, Foxchair? 4 or 5 years?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I was told you were talking about Jock Wallace earlier, and apparently it was John Greig and Sandy Jardine that decided how the team would play, and no Jock Wallace, believe that or not. They used to decide between they two how Rangers would play. That's what I was told a few years ago.
Is that the second time when Wallace came back? Is that what you're saying?
No, the first time.
First time, mate.
Sorry.
How could John Greig have been playing the second time?
I know. Forgive me, guys.
Fox, I wouldn't like to say that to Jock's face, know what I mean?
Apparently, this is only apparently, Waddle had fun out about it, mate, and that became a bone of contention between him and Jock, mate. Aye.
Good, you learn something every day. It's unreal.
What is it John Greig's title? Is it Ibrox now? He's got a title now, and I heard him saying that's him being at Ibrox for 60 years. And when he first came to Rangers all the years ago, obviously he was travelling for Edinburgh. He said the name of the bus he travelled on. He travelled 2 nights a week for training, and then the game's on a Saturday. And just a couple of months ago there, they had a presentation for him in the Blue Room, and that's him spent 60 years at Rangers. That's absolutely fantastic, absolutely brilliant for a guy like John Greig. And when Richard Gough was talking to him the other night there, he never said John or nothing. It was always Mr. Greig. He says when my wife first met Mr. Greig, she introduced him, how you doing, Mr. Greig, because that's the way he speaks about him all the time. I think that's fantastic. I think that goes to show what kind of club we really are, Ox. When you see guys like that getting the respect that they deserve, basically. I can't say Walter and we can't say Ali and things like that, but when you hear Richard Gough, another Rangers legend, by the way, Richard Gough, and he only calls him by Mr. Greig, I think that goes to show what kind of club we really are, Ox.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. Anything to say on that, Mr. Bridgman?
Oh, what can you say? That's respect. That's total respect. And been brought up in the area. If Greig was the manager, he was a servant to Rangers, and the age difference tells you that as well. He always said to Mister, always called him Mister. When I was a youngster, when you were talking to a gaffer, you used to call him Mister, only for a couple of weeks, but you called him Mister, give him his respect, And then depending who he was, he maybe called him Mister all the time.
I've called a gaffer a few things.
I know, pal.
By the way, Blue Horizons questioning my wee bit of knowledge there, that came from both Sandy Jardine and John Greig, by the way. There you go. Anyway, moving on.
Well, it's up to Blue Horizon. He's entitled to phone in as well, isn't he? Yep. Some managers, but obviously the last few years it's been quite sore on the old managerial front. I think we've got somebody special in the door now, Aldbear, Bridge.
Oh, definitely. Well, we're not a class or two now. The last two debacles with Warburton and Casino and Murphy, that should never have happened. But no Stevie G's here. You can just see the professionalism coming back to the club and the sheer class coming back to the club. And it's good for the old Heart to see it all happening again. And I hope it continues for a long, long time. But I think we've learnt a lot of lessons regarding a lot of things, but managers being one of them. We need to get it right. We need to get it right all the time. And I think we've got it right this time.
Yeah, I can't disagree. I can't disagree with that. I think this young man we've got in and out, he's already got titles after his name. You can see his quality. Great speaker, great, and this is his first senior club manager job, or his first any club manager job. And here we are, we're sitting second top of the league. We had a chance for a wee while there. We had a wee chance at the turn of the year to sort of put a lot of pressure, and we did put a lot of pressure on the team at the top of the league. So I can't speak highly enough of this boy. Can't speak highly enough. Now, by the way, I must admit,
even the way he took his band's class, he just took it. Got on with it. No hullabaloo, no if-buts, maybe. He just took the band, sat in the stand, come back out. Job done.
Yeah,
That's it.
that's the way it is, and of course,
I liked his one about the pies. The pies were good up there.
it's you know, when you think about it, they're, shall we say, the Indians are sort of, they're chasing round our what do you call it, our wagons, and they're getting circled, and they're all after him as well now, and they don't want him to be here. They just do not want him to be here at all, and they'll chase him all the way back down to England again if they get a chance. But he's good, fantastic. I like Warburton. I'll tell you that now. When he came up, I thought he was a real breath of fresh air. We played some great football, wonderful to watch. Admittedly, we were in the Championship, and for 6 months anyway. And now look at the difference. Look at the difference. The man walks tall, shoulders up. No, he doesn't. He doesn't stoop, doesn't do nothing, and he's in there. Great. Well done, Mr. Gerrard. Well done, Stephen Gerrard, MBE.
I think he's got the traits. There's a bit of sooness in him, but I think he's got a bit of dignity as well. You know, sometimes sooners get accused of being arrogant, and I think they can see that at times. The way sooness was just, you know, Stevie G's a wee bit more humble, but he's got drive and determination as well. George.
Aye, we started at the start of the show, Ox, and we spoke about the. Well, me personally, I say I'm thankful for the board we've got now, and they've went out there and they've got a guy who I wouldn't have thought we were going to get. Again, it was rumoured. I didn't think it was going to happen. And the way he conducts himself, the way he dresses, the way he speaks. Look, obviously he's the Rangers manager, and I'm going to say that, but I've seen the guys in the past who I just think, and I said it here the night about Murray and things like that, just didn't look like a Rangers manager. This guy sounds like one, he looks like one. He's been a born winner when he was a player. He kens what it's like to take defeat with grace, and he's been at a big club as well. Now he's at the biggest club in the world, and he's conducting himself great also. I think we're lucky to have him. I'm going to be honest, I think we're actually lucky to have a guy, because there's no lot of guys in football conduct themselves like that nowadays. I think it's became a bit of I'm not saying a Ned culture, but I think there's a bit of a thing in football now where guys didn't have the know-how and the wits are how to conduct herself in the match day and interviews. I think he's got everything we deserve as a manager, to be honest.
Fox?
I think he's got all the attributes to be a good manager, but I think what he's got to have is the funds to compete. And if he gets the funds to compete, he'll do well in Scotland. If he doesn't get the funds, I think he'll struggle. And that's the same all over the world in football. You've got to have the funds to match the teams that you're going against. And we've only really got one who are paying 3 times the salary we're paying our players at the moment. So he does need funds to compete. And if the board can give him that, I think we'll get good success with Stephen Gerrard.
Anyway, gentlemen, we've reached that time in the evening. Bridgeman.
Well, what another marvellous evening. Well done to you guys for getting this going. It's really great. The comments are magic. The topics were brilliant. Well done to all the guys in the lobby as well for taking part in it all, shouting and bawling at everybody, calling me names. But no, really great. So to all the Rangers fans all over the world, and particularly Rangers fans on here on Rangers Radio, every single one is, please keep it going for the Rangers, because the Rangers do really need us. And well done. Go for it, Rangers. Win that case tomorrow and get rid of that guy, Ashley.
Can I thank Albert, George, Bridgeman, Fox, Old School, and particularly Ronnie, who phoned in earlier on. Thanks for the call, Ronnie. This has been Rangers Radio. We'll be back tomorrow night between 9 and 11, talking about all things Rangers. Take it away, Old School boys.
There were cheers from the crowded congregation as the light blew the mirrors beneath the stand, to the sound of the very latest music that was played by the Governborough Band. The excitement was tense, the game was starting as the Rangers kicked off amidst the roar. For the yells and shouts were just terrific when the one and only Glasgow Rangers scored. We'll support no other other team but Rangers, and follow wherever they may go. So drink a toast to Glasgow's football heroes, who play in red, white and blue and Dunmore go. The excitement was tense, the game was starting, as the Rangers kicked off amidst the roar. But the yells and shouts were just terrific when the one and only Glasgow Rangers scored. We'll support no other team but Rangers, and follow wherever they may go. So drink a toast to Glasgow's football heroes, who play in red, white and blue and Dunmore go. Who play in red, white and blue and Dunmore go.